Country Club. And I'm also the chair of the SCPGA Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. I just want to thank everybody for joining us. This is our very first SCPGA Junior Catalyst, and we're really excited to have you here. The topic for today's session is careers in golf. And, you know, many of you might have the dream of playing golf professionally. And I think most of us here on our panel have had that same vision. And, you know, obviously that is certainly one option, but we just want to tell you about other golf-focused career opportunities that you might want to consider down the road. Today we have 6 panelists from various areas of the golf industry who are here to tell you a little bit about themselves, their golf journeys, and how they ultimately chose a career that has golf as an integral part of it. So a focused golf career, whether it's as a professional or someone that uses golf in their business. After we've listened to our panelists tell their stories, then we'll have time to have some questions from you all if you'd like to ask our panelists some questions. And then we're going to finish up the session with a fun trivia contest, and we'll have some prizes that are courtesy of Callaway Golf. So I'm going to go ahead and just quickly introduce our panelists before we call on each one of them to share their story. First, we have Petra Cole-Lempa. Maybe I guess they can see your name on the screen. You can always kind of raise a hand. Petra Cole-Lempa, PGA. She's a golf instructor at Coronado Golf Club. We have Mackenzie Mack, PGA, Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Engagement for Topgolf Callaway Brands. Brianna Wen, PGA, Player Development Professional, Golf Academy Head of Junior Golf Development at Costa de Caza Golf and Racket Club. Azucena Maldonado, founder of the Latina Golfers Association. Gabe Vallejo, the assistant golf professional at La Jolla Country Club, and William Yang, who's assistant junior golf director of the Southern California PGA. So we'll go ahead and go in order that I just called everybody off on. So Petra, if you'd like to start, you just tell everybody a little bit about your golf journey and how you ended up becoming a golf professional.
Perfect. Thanks, Kim, and thanks everyone for joining tonight. My name is Petra Cole-Lempa. And I was lucky. I started playing when I was 2. My father was a golf professional, a head pro at a course called Carlton Oaks Country Club. Now it's Carlton Oaks Golf Course over in Santee. And so that course was my playground. I got to practice and play as much as I wanted, which was a lot of fun. I tagged along with my dad. And I goofed off too when I was a kid. I got to go pick up balls out of the water and go find little fossils in the dirt. But golf was never forced on me. It was just a fun activity. And I think that's why that attitude has carried me on to where I am today as well. I just love playing. And so I started competing in tournaments when I was 6. And again, it was just a fun little activity for me. It was, whether I came in first or last, it was, let's go get some ice cream after and have a fun day. I remember getting my first hole-in-one when I was 8. And I played mostly San Diego Junior Golf, which is still around today. And I didn't really travel too much. I maybe went to, in high school, I went to Arizona maybe once or twice a year, but most of it was San Diego Junior Golf. Then I played high school golf at West Hills, and I was lucky again. My dad was my golf coach. So I got to spend a ton of time with him, and I tagged along with his lessons, and I did all his little clinic demonstrations. So golf was really, I did other sports, but golf was always kind of my first activity. After high school, I went on to play college golf at San Diego State. Loved it. Spent 5 years on the team, and then went into graduate school after. After grad school, I was still competing a lot, and I love competing. I was doing all the USGA tournaments, US Women's Amateur, but I still wanted to be in the golf business. I couldn't sit in a cubicle for 8 to 10 hours a day. That just wasn't me. I had to be outside. So I was working a little bit at Torrey Pines at the time, and I was caddying, and I said, well, what do I do next? I finished grad school, and I decided to enter into the PGA program. It took me just over a year and a half to get it done. I was so excited to complete it. And for me, it was, wow, I get to do what my dad did. And I watched him work 7 days a week, and it was really inspiring for me to go help others and mentor others and teach them and help them work on their games. I'm cutting a lot of it out of it because I know I'm kind of limited on time here, but and then after Torrey, I moved down to Coronado Golf Course. So now I have a teaching business with my husband, and we work with everyone and juniors, seniors, anyone that wants to come out. And every day is a little different, whether it's clinics or private lessons. But I love the fact that I get to help people enjoy a challenge. To me, it's a puzzle, and I get to solve that puzzle with every student that comes out. And the best part is they leave the golf course with hopefully a smile on their face. They're enjoying their time. So for me, it's a really happy place to be at the course. It's always been that way. I really push myself. I get to play and teach, but it's just always been a fun sport, and I feel blessed and lucky to do what I do today.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Petra. We have similar stories, so I always like hearing yours because I can really relate. All right, so Mackenzie Mack, we're gonna go ahead and have you tell a little bit about your background and how you became involved in the PGA and with Callaway Golf.
Sure. So hello, everyone. I'm Mackenzie Mack. I'm with Topgolf Callaway Brands and originally from Las Vegas, Nevada. Grew up playing golf, but nobody in my family played golf. It was an accident that me and my sister really got into it. My mom was a single parent looking to figure out how she was going to get her 2 daughters into college for free. And so I played soccer, I played softball, I played every sport imaginable. And we just happened to be in gymnastics class sitting next to the local head pro's wife, who said, "Hey, you should bring your daughters over to my husband." And that's how it started. And so we started taking lessons as a family. Then when my mom realized that she could leave us out at the golf course for hours without worrying, she started doing that. So we spent a lot of time, me and my sister, just at the golf course hanging out with the pro, with other juniors. And so that's where we spent a lot of our time. And then when they explained to her that there was a lot of scholarships, especially for women in the game, it was a done deal. Golf became a non-negotiable in the household. I could play and quit any other sport, any other activity, but golf was not one of them. So both me and my sister were able to get scholarships and play Division I golf. We traveled all over, went to California a lot, back and forth, because of how strong the program was here and still is. And played Division I golf at Indiana State, stayed, got my master's, and was the assistant golf coach for them as well. My whole life I wanted to play as well. And so I was like, if I'm not playing, then it doesn't really matter what else I'm doing. So I left Indiana State and moved to Tampa, Florida to play some mini tour golf and pursue that, which I loved. A very tough road, but I loved it. Then picked up a job at the First Tee just to make ends meet and realized that I actually liked the juniors. I actually liked helping them with their journey, even more than I liked going on my own. And so I dove into that, was a program director there for several years. And then that's when I decided, if I'm going to be teaching, I need to be the best at it. So picked up my PGA certification and my LPGA certification and dove into the teaching side and training and being the best that I could be on that side. Transferred from there to Memphis to lead the First Tee program in Memphis and be the associate executive director there. And then a role opened up at Callaway as part of their leadership rotational program. It was to come into the business and see different parts of the industry from the business side. And so I had my MBA. I was like, maybe this might be something. And so I jumped in, and has been the best decision because I never even imagined how many jobs there were outside of teaching, coaching, and green grass. And probably had I known earlier, I probably would have studied more than golf while I was in school, and try to focus my attention to some of those roles that I see now, that and on the Callaway side and on the Topgolf side. And so I kind of did my 2 years in that program and learned that I really like dealing with the helping the employees, helping the community, and in my role on the HR team, I'm able to do both. So I'm able to still keep a toe in the community and help grow the game, but also help develop the culture within the company as well. And it's been a great marry of the two. And my golf experience has helped tremendously to bring to the corporate side. And so now my new mission is to just share all the other opportunities there are in golf, from social media to video. We have a whole video production team that will mirror Golf Channel at our facility, from golf ball engineering to club engineering. Somebody's got to make the clubs that we hit, to designing the clothes, the hats, what color should we wear, to the accounting. There's so many roles that I just want to share with you all and everyone else that I encounter, because you don't have to give up the game completely once you start playing. It can certainly be a part of your career and your life going forward on any aspect. So I'm happy to be here to share that with you all, and open to any questions at the end.
Thanks, Mackenzie. It's an amazing facility at Callaway, and I love that you kind of sparked your interest in becoming a PGA and LPGA member from working with juniors. And Brianna, you're working with juniors every day. Tell us a little bit
Every day.
Tell us a little bit about what you do at Coto de Casa and how you kind of got into that role.
Yep. Hi, everyone. I'm Brianna Nguyen. I'm a player development professional at Coto de Casa. And honestly, I grew up kind of like everybody here. My dad dragged me out to the golf course. He's like, Brianna, you're going to learn golf. Like, this is the sport for women. This is the sport for little girls, and especially a great opportunity for college golf and getting a scholarship, just like Mackenzie said. So I grew up on the East Coast in Maryland. I played starting when I was around 8 years old, got really competitive in it, and found myself with a full ride at UNC, Chapel Hill. So I was a Tar Heel, and I loved every second of it. I think college golf is great. All of my friends are still from UNC, and a lot of my long life connections are from UNC as well. From there, I pursued professional golf. So I played mini tour events. I did all the Q series and everything like that now. And it was a great learning experience. And then COVID hit. So when COVID hit, I said, let's reel back a little bit. Tournament golf is kind of on a pause. And I decided to move out to Las Vegas, actually, where Mackenzie's from. And I became the assistant golf professional there at TPC Summerlin. While my tournament golf was on pause for a little bit, I pursued my PGA Class A membership and worked for a couple years there. And what I loved about that is I got to dabble in working in the golf industry, but also playing a little bit too. Like, my competitive fire never kind of burnt out. So the PGA had a lot of tournaments that I could play in as a PGA professional, which was awesome. Sorry, that's my cat, if you can hear that. So from there, I was an assistant pro for about 2 years, and then I moved even further west, and I found myself in California. And from there, I was like, I want to be outside more. I want to start teaching a lot more. And I knew I wanted to do that long term, but kind of because of COVID, it kind of started sooner. So I became the player development professional here at Coto de Casa, where I work with juniors. We have over 100 kids in our program, and I see them every day. And it just brings me joy to see how excited they are playing on the golf course, and it motivates me to become a better instructor as well. So I am here for 2 years now, and I'm still loving it, and I'm still playing a lot. And that's what I want to emphasize, is that even though I'm not playing competitively, and even though my dream of being on the LPGA tour might be a little far-fetched right now, I still get to play in all the section events and chapter events and meet great people in that aspect. So it's a great industry and a great environment to be in, especially if you want to keep playing, but also spread your love for golf as well.
That's so true. And I think probably most everybody on here is probably familiar with Michael Block, who is a PGA member and has been very prominent this last year playing in tour events. And you kind of really can have the best of both worlds. You know, you can play still competitively, whether it's in chapter events or section events as a PGA member or associate, and then still have opportunities to play on professional tours and events as well. So we're going to shift gears just a tiny bit because we've got one of our panelists has a very interesting background here in golf and what she's done to make some big changes for our Latina golfers up in the LA area. So Azucena, you want to tell everybody about how you got into having golf as a big part of your life and what you're doing to make some changes out there and inspire people to get involved in golf.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Azucena Maldonado. I am the founder of the Latina Golfers Association, and we this year are celebrating 15 years. So we had our quinceañera this year, and my story is a little bit different in that I never, if you asked me when I was growing up or in college or at any point in my life whether I would be working in the golf industry, I would have said to you, no way. I didn't even know what golf was or anything about the golf industry as I was growing up. I am a first generation immigrant, and so I never was introduced to golf. Golf was never in my field of reference. I never went to a golf course. I never played golf. I didn't know anything about golf. So to be in the golf industry now is just really one of the neatest things in my life, I have to say. Golf just opened up my world, and it's made me the happiest probably I've ever been in my life. So thank God for the person that introduced me to golf. So because I don't come from a golf background, when I moved to California, I think I had been here 2 weeks, and a gentleman who wanted to ask me out on a date said, will you go out with me? And I said, okay. He took me to the golf course, and we didn't play golf. That would have been crazy, but he bought me a putter, and he just taught me how to putt. And at that instant, I just said, you know what? I like this. It's something that I think I can do. I was way an adult at that point. And so then my passion for golf, that's where my passion for golf started. He was a great golfer, a single digit golfer, a passionate golfer. He loved golf. And so I was immersed in the world of golf through him. And he taught me how to play golf. And I was, playing 2-3 times a week, as often as we could play, we would be playing. But I was a recreational golfer. I didn't know anything about the business of golf, the culture of golf. I just knew I loved it, and I wanted to get out and play as often as I could. And then when I started learning more about golf, and I've always been very involved in the Latino community, and I started attending or being invited to attend charity golf tournaments. And I didn't even know what that was. I was so naive about golf. I just played it as a recreational sport. And I started going to these tournaments, and I loved them. They were just so fun. I realized that it opened up my eyes about golf, that there was something more to golf than just playing golf and having fun at playing golf, that at these tournaments, at these charity tournaments, your world opens up. You get to meet all kinds of amazing people, CEOs of companies, corporate sponsors, entrepreneurs, just really interesting people who are there to enjoy golf and support a great organization. And I loved playing there. And what I started to realize is that the more I played, I would see that there were very few women playing. There'd be a field of 100 guys, and maybe 5 or 6 women. And I started asking, wow, where are all the women? I was so naive and new to golf that I didn't even know women weren't playing golf. And so then they said to me, hey, well, why don't you invite your friends to come and play at these tournaments? And then I dawned on me, wow, the only people I play golf with are my friend and his 2 buddies. So they were my foursome. They were my universe of golf. So I didn't have anybody else in my world that golfed outside of that foursome. So I realized, oh my gosh, I guess the reason I wanted to start the Latina Golfers Association 15 years ago is because I realized that golf is a sport that can open up your world in so many ways, for business, for your personal life, for education, for anything you want to do. Golf can be at the center of it. I was, as I said, very involved in the Latino community. So when I'd be at our networking events, at our luncheons, the people that I was playing golf with at these charity tournaments would recognize me and know me. Remember, I was new to California, so I didn't know a lot of those people, but they knew me because I played golf with them at the charity tournaments. And these were some CEOs, entrepreneurs, elected officials, people that it would have taken me a long time to get to know and build relationships with. But because I played golf with them, we were building relationships on the golf course. We were bonding on the golf course, and they would all come up to me at these events and say, hey, how's your golf game? How you doing? You want to play in our foursome? And I thought, wow, what else could just bring people together like that? It's a fast track of getting to know people and building relationships. And I realized women are missing out on this amazing opportunity to do business, to build community, to build a network, because we're not golfing. So that's why I started the Latina Golfers Association 15 years ago. And, because I didn't know anything about the industry, I knew nothing. I just knew that I wanted to bring women into the game, that I wanted to bring the Latino community and Latina women into the game. And I felt like I was an outsider. I mean, because I didn't know anybody in the industry. I didn't know anything about golf, but I knew it had to be done. So I just started doing what I know how to do, which was, how did I learn how to play golf? And so I created a space where I would invite women to a comfortable place at the golf course so that they would feel comfortable about learning how to play golf. And we started with just golf clinics. Well, at our very first event, we actually honored Lisette Salas, who then was at college playing at the USC college team. So she wasn't even a pro then, but we honored Lisette, we honored her family. And we had 94 women at our very first event. It wasn't even a golf clinic. It wasn't anything. Just, hey, come and explore the idea of the Latina Golfers Association. 94 women showed up. So I realized there's something here. We want to learn. And I realized, and what they would tell me is that they just didn't know how to get into the game. They had an interest, but they didn't know anybody that played golf. They'd never been to a golf course. I had never been to a golf course. So we became that welcome arm into the golf world, I like to say. And we started with golf clinics and golf lessons and golf outings, golf fashion shows, you name it. And 15 years later, we have just in LA County over 3,000 members. And now, thanks to the help of some other support like Callaway Golf and McKinsey, we're doing things all over the country and building the game of golf. So what I created, I basically created my own job, my own space in the golf world because it didn't exist. So I love hearing the stories of our panelists and how some of them grew up, most of them grew up around golf, playing golf, but there are many that didn't. And yet you can create your own future in golf like we did. I mean, as Mackenzie said, there's so many different careers that I never would have known about. Engineers, social media experts, as she said, videographers, writers, producers, people in accounting, you name it. Look what it takes to run a golf course, to run an operation, food and beverage. There's so many job opportunities, career opportunities, and you just have to create that opportunity for yourself. That's what I did. And it totally opened up my life. It opened up my world. It changed the trajectory of my life. And now I'm getting to be involved in this amazing sport and introduce people that might not otherwise learn or be familiar with golf into this space so that their lives can grow and be expanded. You're fortunate that you are playing golf now, that you're being introduced to golf, and take advantage of that opportunity, because you may or may not want to be playing golf on the LPGA or PGA tour. But as you see here on the panel, there's a plethora of job opportunities and careers that you can do. And you can do, as some of the people on our panel are doing, a little bit of both. So don't be limited into what might be in the golf world. And if there's something that interests you, if you're a blogger, if you're a social media person, create your own space in the golf world, because it's open to everyone. And I have found it to be very welcoming to me, and certainly appreciate the support of the PGA and the SCPGA section, Callaway, McKinsey, and everybody here that's just been so wonderful to help us grow and get the word out about golf. So I encourage you to just take advantage of what is here for you.
Well, and I mean, I think one thing that you said that I think was so important, golf changed your life, but by what you're doing with your business, you're changing other people's lives. So it's not just becoming an instructor or a club pro or, coach, other areas that we more commonly hear of. There are definitely different avenues that you can still achieve those same type of goals by going just a different little route. So that's so inspiring. All right. So somebody that's been in the golf industry for a little bit, but he's newer into his PGA journey, is Gabe Vallejo, and he's going to tell you a little bit about how he got to where he is now at La Jolla Country Club.
Hi, everybody. I am Gabe Vallejo, assistant golf professional at La Jolla Country Club. I started playing golf just like a few of the other people on the panel as soon as I could walk. My grandfather had a club in my hand. My grandfather was a scratch golfer. My dad was a scratch golfer. So, me being bad at golf wasn't really an option. But we always had a lot of fun with it growing up. My grandfather would take me out to the golf course. My mom, same thing. Once she found out she could drop me off for 7 hours at a place, she did give me $20, get a Coke and a Snickers bar, and I would have a day, I am from Austin, Texas. I grew up playing the golf course that I initially started working at, which was Lions Municipal Golf Course. It's kind of like the Torrey Pines of Austin, Texas. You get, a lot of local characters there, same thing you would get at a club. You get judges and, lawyers and doctors. And it is such, golf is such a great, industry to be in, because you can, through golf, you could end up in any kind of industry. You could start out as a PGA professional and then end up being a realtor, on the side or something. But, the PGA program has been great for me because it has allowed me to keep my love of golf going while I'm coaching, playing, giving golf clinics. It's been really, really good for me. In high school and college, a lot of my playing teammates would come to me and ask me like, hey, I'm doing something wrong with my swing. Can you help me out? And I always found, a quick fix in their swings. And they're like, man, you're good at this. Maybe, you should be a coach. And I was like, you know what? After college golf, I never really attempted to go pro fully, but I knew I could at some point. And I knew if I stayed in the golf industry, as I'm teaching and practicing on my own, you can always attempt to chase that dream of turning professional. You know, it's not out of the question. It's a hard route to go for sure. You know, you got to really commit to it, really grind, and, you know, play really well for a long time. But, you know, the PGA offers a lot of, you know, job opportunities like we've talked about today. And, you know, I'm very grateful to be where I am at La Jolla Country Club because, you know, I started golf in Austin, Texas, and I'm out west now. You know, I'm in one of the prettiest places in the country, and, you know, I've loved every minute of my job. And, you know, I get to be outside every day. I get my friends, you know, who went to, you know, college like I did, and, you know, they tell me every day how jealous they are that I get to, you know, give 4 golf lessons and that's my day, you know, and they're sitting in the cubicle and, you know, losing their minds. So I'm very grateful to be here. I appreciate all you guys that are on here. And if you guys have any questions for me, you know, let me know. But golf has made me very happy, and it continues to do that every single day. So, you know, pick golf.
Thanks, Gabe. Gabe's been with us, what, about 6 months?
Yes, ma'am.
It's been really fun to watch him grow as a professional, and we're really fortunate to have him. All right, so we're gonna have William go ahead and take the floor, I guess. We're not really in a room, but I think everybody on the call probably knows who William is. And you generally know what he does, but I don't know that you know his story and how he got to be the assistant junior golf director for the SCPGA. So William.
Kim, thank you for the introduction, and thank you for everyone for joining the Zoom call today. So I started playing golf at, you know, similar to everyone else here, at around 7 years old. Surprisingly, I got burnt out at an early age, around 12 years old. I actually took a break from golf around 1 to 2 years at that time. Absolutely hated it, to be honest. I mean, it's something that I think everyone goes through at a certain point in their junior golf career. But once I started high school, I made the varsity team my sophomore year, decided, you know, hey, it's actually a fun game when you have the team aspect in it. So after I made the varsity team, I decided upon myself to pursue a chance at playing college golf. You know, I have 2 older sisters that played college golf as well. Watching them go through the 4 years at their universities, I just saw how fun it was, how much travel they did, and how much they learned. And so my parents encouraged me to do so, and so I did. Luckily, at my senior year of high school, I was able to secure a athletics golf scholarship at Cal State Dominguez Hills in Carson. Surprisingly enough, I told all of our junior members, I received a scholarship despite ever making it to the Tour Cup, which is our highest level of competition. So there's always different pathways. I would just encourage everyone on the phone call here, and even any junior golfer in our program, to just keep playing, keep trying your best. One day you'll make it. Network, as you know, many have already mentioned, is a key thing. You know, just even trying to find a college golf coach, emailing them, trying to call them, if anything, leaving voicemails helps a lot. So I played 4 years at Dominguez Hills. I actually started in every single event despite one because I didn't qualify for it. That's a story for another day. I ended up being able to win one college event at the PGA Works Collegiate Championship in 2019. In college, I was actually a comp sci major my first 2 years. My parents really wanted me to work in the tech industry. I enjoyed it for a little bit, but then as I kept playing golf, I realized that I really wanted to work in the golf industry. I spent a lot of my summer during, working at Rancho San Joaquin in Irvine in the Nike Summer Golf Camp. I worked at Golf Galaxy in a retail job, and I just generally realized that I really enjoyed the whole golf. I guess you can say workflow. From there, I decided to see what I could do with golf. And similar to what Gabe said, I on the side would coach my friends, coach children, and that's when I decided, hey, I want to try coaching as a full-time job after college. So after 2019, when I graduated, I tried finding a job. It was very difficult at first. I actually worked for the Junior Tour as a field staff part-time while I was trying to find a full-time job. And I ended up finding a coaching job at Urban Golf Performance in Irvine. I was with them for around 2 years, and I was fortunate enough to earn a award called the Teammate of the Year. It essentially entails, or it just showed that I was very good at my admin work. I was very good at essentially doing the day-to-day cleaning, so on and so forth. Not so much the coaching thing, which is what I'm going to dive into next. But during my time there, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about work ethic, learned a lot about essentially what it takes to work a full-time job. I got burnt out, similar to what happened to me when I was 12 years old. I didn't like coaching. I realized that it wasn't my calling. So I decided to, hey, I really like admin work. I want to try to go back to the junior tour, see what I can do there. And I asked my current, or the director, Kevin Smith, I asked him, hey, what can I do to essentially work in this position or to grow in this position? He said, they really liked me back then. So they said, hey, welcome back. We'll put you on a part-time basis. We'll teach you as you go through the training here, and hopefully we'll see where it can take you. So since 2021, when I came back, I've slowly worked my way up to this position where I am today. I started off as a junior golf coordinator, did that for a few months, became manager, did that again for a few months, and then I became the assistant junior golf director a little bit over a year ago now. And I'm very happy and very appreciative to where the SCPGA has gotten me. Very, very fortunate, very lucky to be able to do what I do today. My biggest goal now, instead of coaching, is more about coaching parents and kids, or I guess you can say our members, the whole college golf recruiting aspect. I know it's a very stressful experience. I had to go through it. My siblings had to go through it. And I'm always here, always available to answer questions. I have a lot of resources, more than happy to help. Everyone on this phone call should have my email at this point. So I send a lot of emails every day. And so just, I'm always available. Just let me know when.
Oh, we're so fortunate to have you, William, on board with the SCPGA on our staff and leading our juniors. The reason that we are having this catalyst for juniors, specifically our golf careers catalyst, is because we want, right now you might not have figured out, where you're going to go to college or what you want to be when you grow up. And we really just want to plant that seed. So you kind of keep that in the back of your mind, whatever path you end up taking in your career, whether it's playing professionally or maybe even something outside of golf, to just have that thought that, hey, no matter what I do, I can have golf be a part of my life in whatever I decide to do with my life. So we have a few minutes before we're going to play our trivia game. And I want to go ahead and see if anybody has any questions for our panelists. Anybody? Well, I'm going to have Mackenzie really quickly tell you, she has secured some awesome prizes for our trivia. So Mackenzie, if you just want to tell them what we have for our prizes today, that'd be great.
Sure. So we have a backpack, really cool backpack from OGO, which is one of our brands. We have some golf balls, the newest ones. So yes, and a cowboy hat.
Right, that's awesome. It's kind of sad I can't play. I have an OGO travel bag, like a luggage bag. So the backpack would be perfect, but somebody's going to get that. So William, you're going to get the trivia loaded. Just let me know when you're ready and we'll get that started.
We have a question.
Oh,
Sophia.
Yes. Hi, I'm Sophia.
yeah.
I did have one question. I have committed to a college in Connecticut called Quinnipiac University. I pretty much know what I really want to make it to the LPGA Tour, and I wasn't sure after college what steps would I take to get there, if I should start on mini tours or if I should just start playing Q schools right away. Like, what do I need to do to get to that point?
Brianna, do you want to go ahead and address that, since you're,
Yeah.
most close to that as far as where you are in your career? It's not that long ago that you were in her shoes.
So it's funny, it's one of my great friends from college. Her sister played on Quinnipiac. So I actually know a couple girls on that team. What I would suggest is for sure to try stage 1 at Q school. And you can actually do that as like, honestly, going into your senior year, you can keep your amateur status as long as you don't pursue stage 2 of Q school. So I believe getting that experience in a little bit earlier is always a step you can consider, just so you can feel the pressure and feel what it feels like to play in Q school, right? Because it's a whole different ball game. So that's what I kind of did, and I think it prepared me a lot for my senior year of college. It got me a little bit more competitive, but it also just showed me what it's like out there and seeing how the players are acting and how it feels to be in that kind of a pressure situation, because it's a little different than college.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, good question.
I see a question here in the comments from Alfonso. He's asking, he's asking me, what do you think, feel, believe was the reason for your burnout? To answer this question, I want to say the reason why I burnt out at such an early age in golf at 12 years old is because growing up, golf was the only sport I played. Day in, day out, since 7 years old. I don't think I missed a single day of practice. My parents would just drag me to the golf course, sit there and watch me hit golf balls. To me, it felt like they were forcing me to do it. It wasn't until high school when I joined the team aspect, that's when I wanted to contribute to something. That's when I realized, hey, golf is actually a really fun sport. I would just say, in terms of burnout, my biggest thing that I see a lot with our junior tour members is that a lot of pressure might get to them. Just understanding that golf is a game, understanding that mistakes do happen, and at the end of the day, finding someone, potentially friends, to be with you at the golf course to help you grow as a player is key in growing your love for the game.
You're muted, Kim.
Oh, sorry. Thanks for the questions. Do we have any other questions? I can't see where the comments are, so if not, are we ready for trivia? All right. So William, I'll kind of pass that on to you or Nikki, because that's not my forte.
I think William is going to share his screen, and for those that would like to participate, we hope everybody, you are going to need your cell phone for this. In just a second, it'll show you the website you need to go to. It'll be kahoot.it. Some of you might be familiar with Kahoot in school. So you'll want to go to kahoot.it.
I just want to make sure, can everyone see this?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect.
So go to kahoot.it, and then you're going to plug in that PIN number and then enter your name. So we'll know who wins the trivia.
Sorry. Oh, I apologize. There you go.
I just see a black screen, Liam.
Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna stop sharing and then I'm gonna try to reshare. I apologize.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. All right. One more minute here.
In that minute, if it's okay, this is Azucena with Latina Golfers. Just one last thought I wanted to share is that whatever you decide to do in life, golf is really always going to be such an important piece, whether you're if you decide not to do it professionally. When you go into business, golf is going to open up so many doors for you. So I think it's wonderful that you're already playing golf, because it's going to make such a big difference in your life.
Yeah, I agree with that. It definitely changed my life in ways that I can't fathom to imagine as a kid. And again, I mentioned it during my speech there earlier that I'm extremely grateful and appreciative where golf has taken me, and I hope that the juniors can realize that they can do the same. All right, are you guys ready to get started?
Do it.
There's 10 questions. It has to do with, there's 3 of them regarding the junior tour, and 7 of them regarding the panelists today. So everyone that's on this phone call should know this answer.
Where's the Kahoot music?
I'm not sure how I can share that. I'm sorry.
That's the best part.
Yeah, I hear it,
It is the
on
best
my
part.
end.
Let me see if there's something I need to do on my end.
1948.
48.
We're in our 75th year this year.
Nice.
This is a trick question, so just make sure you read the answers. Ooh.
Oh God, there's 2 Duke universities in there.
Yeah.
The hat should have given that away.
Right.
This one might be a tough question just because you have to know the full-time staff.
Yeah.
Nice. Should be an easy one.
You look the same, William.
Yeah.
I was there, William.
Really?
I've gone to everyone since I've graduated. Yeah, pretty much.
Man, I ran into you.
For sure.
Two 2008. I think she said it was the 15th year, right?
Yeah, I love that she said they had their quinceañera.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
The glow up is real. Logan,
Anybody gonna catch Logan?
gotta be quick.
It's a long time ago.
I'm saying,
He went deep into the internet.
that's what I'm saying. Where they get these photos?
This is awesome.
She looks the same too.
Oh, just you wait,
He
Kim.
really does.
Oh,
Ooh.
This next one's gonna be tough, and I wasn't able to find a photo. So
Aw.
it is a hard one. Sorry.
this is tough because I didn't talk about it. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, good luck.
Her favorite football team is Kansas City Chiefs. That helps.
These are all in Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. One person got it.
Oh,
That's
good.
good.
Tiger face. Nice.
Yay.
Good job, Mitchell.
Good job.
Nice, Michael. Logan ran away with it.
Congratulations.
Job.
Awesome. We will get the prizes out to you all. And I just want to ask if we have any final questions or any final comments from our panelists.
Yeah, this is Michael. I'm Jeremiah Ireland's dad. So William knows my kid playing on the Players Tour. I have a question for Asusena. My wife is she still on?
Mhm. Yes, I am.
Yes.
So my wife is from Mexico City, but she doesn't play golf. But she got a job at a local country club here in Redlands, so my kid can go over and play golf on Mondays. Golf is, like, as you probably know, it's a really exclusive sport in Mexico and not really affordable and not really available in many parts of Mexico. And so I was wondering, okay, what could I do, or do you have contact info, or that maybe I can like
For me?
ever reach out to you and
Oh, yes.
yeah.
What you said is absolutely right. In Mexico, Central and South America, if you're not a member of a country club, you're not going to be playing golf. Golf is not public in those countries.
Right.
So many times when our community comes to the United States, they have this stereotype that golf is private. Even when they see public golf courses, I'm often asked, well, I didn't think I could go there because, golf courses are private. And so it's a big education that we have to go through here to inform them that indeed we have more public golf courses than we do private golf courses. But you can reach me at Latina Golfers at gmail.com is an easy way. LatinaGolfers at gmail.com. Our website is latinagolfers.com.
Thank you.
Sophia, you had another question?
Hi, yes. If we have any further questions, are we able to reach all of you guys? Is there any contact information?
Nikki?
Yes, I think what might be easiest if everyone, if the panelists can go into the chat and type your email address. And then for the juniors, since all of you know William, it might be easiest to reach out to William. And if you're not able to write down the email addresses now, reach out to William. He'll get you in touch with the panelists. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody gets their info in there.
And this is actually being recorded, so we will be emailing this out to the full junior tour. It'll live on our YouTube channel, And we, hope you've enjoyed it and spread the word, because we'll have many more coming.
Yeah, I don't see any more questions. I just want to thank everyone for being here and participating. Again, this is our very first Junior Catalyst, so I should be proud that you are a part of it, whether you are an attendee or a panelist. And we look forward to continuing this series. Like Nikki said, we're going to be doing these quarterly with different topics. So definitely you can brag that you were at the first one, and hopefully share it with all of your junior golf friends that we're going to be having some really exciting programs for you going forward. So I just want to thank everyone for being here, and we hope to see you on the links.